Hello, everybody. This is Rebecca here with the Deep Earth Singing Moon weekly reading. And this week, it's very exciting. We have Sister Crow Oracle from Hannah Willow that has come to live with me thanks to Owen, who brought it at the weekend. And I've lost my microphone, so I'm going to try to speak loudly enough so that you can hear me. But yeah, exciting. New Oracle and good time for Crow. So I've already drawn the stones in this set. There are stones and cards, and we're working with the stones today. And I have put these into the group and onto the page. But in case you haven't seen yet, we have number 1, number 2, whoops, and number 3. And there may be a little something for us all at the end, but I hope you've made your choice, and here we go. So for those of you who picked number 1, we have Crow Foot. So this week, the advice for you, the direction for you, is really about grounding, and it's very much about stepping into conscious connection with the earth and with the responsibilities of your everyday life. Sometimes it can feel overwhelming, the things that we have to do, and particularly when we begin to get overly busy and lose our center, everything starts to fall apart. We start to just, disintegrate into chaos. So the message for you this week is you can do this, you can do this, you can deal with the things that you need to deal with, you can do this with grace and with great love. But the place where you will find the energy to sustain you in dealing with the things of this world is through your connection with the earth. So get outside, even if it's just outside your garden door, put your feet onto the ground and feel that connection and let the earth sustain you. And let it clear you, let yourself come back to center and feel ready, for what's next and what you need to work through in this week. So if you had number 1, that one's for you. For those of you who have picked number 2, you have Crow Egg. And this is a time of new beginnings. It's a time of new beginnings, but also a time of awareness that before the point of hatching, there's the point of gestation. And we're coming into, the ending, coming closer to the ending of this moon cycle. We're past the full moon. And we're moving into that time of deeper stillness and deeper darkness. And so perhaps it's a time for a gestating of your plans, that there's a promise of a new beginning, a new coming in the future, but that promise is not yet at its fulfillment. Don't be discouraged by the fact that it's not yet at its fulfillment. It's in the place where it needs to be. You are coming to that place. You're in this place of inner growth, in this place where, the quiet growth is happening. So trust that and know that the new beginning is coming. You are preparing to hatch, or perhaps your plans are preparing to hatch out, but you're not quite there yet. But know, that you are held in that space, and that there's a mother crow holding you as you sleep and grow in that egg. And your final number 3, for those of you who are with number 3, you have the flock of crows flying. This is very much about the work of sisterhood and the work with your sisters, the feeding of that work, that bigger picture, You know, I'm seeing the crows flying high, high, high over the land, and not flying alone, but flying together. And what is the work that they are seeding and weaving and creating for each other and for all of us? So this is a time of flying high, of seeing that bigger perspective, of joining together in the flock. You know, this is not a time for staying isolated, and it's a time for bringing your gifts into connection with the tribe, you know, with your community, with your group. But I'm going to say it's not just the delivery of your gifts into your community, which is important, but this is very much about weaving those bonds of sisterhood, those peer um, ties, those peer connections, the things that are going to feed you so that you can stay strong and weave a very strong connection with others that then will feed the work in the world. This is a time for that kind of a connection, that connection of circle or tribe. So looking this week at what ways are you doing this, or what ways is that lacking in your life at this time? Where can you make those connections more strongly? You know, where do you need to facilitate this for others, but also from this perspective of equal measure, giving and receiving in equal measure, feeding the dream in equal measure. And there is this saying that's oft repeated, a rising tide lifts all boats. This is not a time for competition, for putting other people down, or feeling like you need to be in isolation in your solitary project. This is very much a time where our strength grows as we grow in connection with one another. As we feed the work of the other, so too is our own strength and our own work held. So yes, that's your job for this week, is to make that connection with your sisters, make that connection strongly, see where you can expand and connect in these things, because this is what's going to sustain you over the longer term. Now, we do have a fourth stone that's come for us, and yeah, this is for all of us today, and this is a question and a challenge for all of us, and this is one that is keeping coming back for me ever since this has come into my hands. And the message of Two Crows for you is this: be wise in your communication. In what ways, can you bring mindfulness and kindness and truth? Always the deep truth, but knowing that the truth can come, the honesty can come also with gentleness and kindness. And that gentleness and kindness is not about eroding our own boundaries. Okay, what does it take to be in relationship with another person? What does it take to be in relationship with others? That is the question that Two Crows pose to you this week, to reflect on that. What do I require? What does it take? What do I know that it takes to be in healthy relationship with others? So I'm wishing you all well, sisters. I'm also going to make an offer to you that if you come and send me a message or post on the page, let's just say post in the group, and in any of those spaces, if you ask me to pick a Sister Crow Oracle card for you today, and I'm saying Monday, the 25th of April, because I can't do this forever, if you get in touch with me before the end of the day today, I will pick a card for you personally. Okay, so wishing you all a beautiful week.